Yo, what's going on my dudes, and welcome back to another video. In today's video I wanted to talk about custom controller settings and how you can improve your own settings for your controller. Now, I did just recently make this, so I'm not particularly the best as it is, but I'm getting better. Oof, failed 90-degree turn. But I guess we'll get right into the video and explain the actual settings that I have set up right now and why they are so good. And without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, before I start the video, I just wanted to take a quick moment and show you guys my settings, all of these things. You can slow the speed down if you want to, but the most important thing you have to know is I do have turbo building on and I do have auto run on. So without further ado, let's just get into the actual settings. Alright, so first off, the first thing I wanted to mention is that this is based off of your Builder Control or Builder Pro settings. So when you go to Custom, when you hit Reset, you're going to want to go to your Builder Pro. Now I've already reset this I've already set this, so I'm not going to switch up the controls, but this is going to focus solely on 3 settings that have been changed. And I'm going to explain why I changed those settings and why you should too. So first up is our actual A button. So the easiest thing for me to do was just to switch this one to edit. Now my reasons for doing so is that a lot of people are just going straight up and switching this L button to edit, and the problem with this is that when you have to actually confirm an edit, let's see if I can just show this off really quickly, and you hit edit right here, you'll notice that there's an A for confirm right here. And now if you switch this L button to edit, you're still going to have to press A to confirm, so you're going to be pressing the button anyways. It doesn't matter what you're doing. So just setting A to edit without switch mode, because before it's at edit and switch mode, it's going to take away the timer for your editing, and you're no longer going to have like 2 buttons for editing. It's just going to make life a lot easier on you when you do this. So the next thing I wanted to switch was the jump, and of course now I need a switch mode. So the easiest thing for me to do was just switch this L to jump and switch B to switch mode, which is what you can see I inevitably did. Now, I did mess around with a bunch of other ideas. For example, this R button down right here. I actually wanted this one set as my jump, because when I jump and I'm moving around, it's the same button. I thought it would be a lot easier. The problem is again, when we go to our editing, notice this R for reset. If you change your R button, this thing's going to go away. You can no longer reset your edits. You can no longer do that. No longer can do that. Can't reset them instantly. And if you try to switch this back to crouch and repair, what will actually happen is it won't fix that problem, and you're going to have to reset your controls all over again. The same thing is true for these buttons up here. Say I wanted to try out L as jump. Now there's a lot of problems involved with this, but one of the things that is important is if we go to our map, L right here is remove marker. So if I place a marker right here, and then I can no longer remove the marker. Same thing is true for R and zoom and I guess unzoom. For some reason they're not working for me anyways. I don't know why, but I guess it's just weird. I haven't messed with the ZL and ZR. Maybe it's some other buttons that I switched, but I guess it doesn't really matter to me that much. But again, it might not be that important to you, but the reason why I didn't use L for my jump is actually when we get to our building. Now, when you switch L for jump, you're going to have jump right here. And the problem with that is when you're placing a stair piece, well, when you do that, you're going to have to be pressing stair and jump at the same time, which is impractical. Now, you could switch out, say, R for your stair piece, but then that's going to interfere with your wall piece. Say you put your stair piece at A or B. Now, I did try this, but it is a bit of a stretch, and I've already gotten really comfortable to our Builder Pro settings. And a change like that is going to be really drastic, and it's going to affect your playstyle for a long time. It's going to take you a long time to get used to. So I just thought it would be easier to not mess with these L, ZL, ZR, since it just complicates everything for you. Now, the reason I wanted to do that was because I wasn't really too fond of this L down button for jump, but it actually works pretty good. I've gotten used to using the L button a lot, since it's actually like my jumping, well, not jumping, but auto run. So that makes it a lot easier for me to just get used to, since I was already pressing it a lot of times during when I was actually playing with just Builder Pro. And I guess that's not that big of a problem, but if you're not really used to that, I guess if you've already had auto run, it might feel a little weird, but trust me on this one, it's a good setting to change, because now you're going to be able to do your shotgun shots much more accurately, because you can now jump and move around, as opposed to having to take your thumb off of your control stick to jump. Now it's going to fix that. The other thing that it fixes is when you're doing ramp rushes, say a double ramp, double floor. I still can't do this because it's really hard, especially in console, but when you're moving sideways, back and forth like this, I've been practicing this for a while, but when you have to actually press jump, you're going to have to take your finger off the control stick, which means that you can no longer go back and forth. So what I ended up doing was this little thing right here, like that. And it's really slow, and it's really awkward. I guess it sort of works, but it's not practical. What you're going to want to do is, I guess, like this. But yeah, the settings really help with my editing. One thing I highly advise practicing is just your controller settings right here. So say you're like in a wall right here, you can edit things like this really fast. I guess just something to keep in mind, just practice stuff like that. I'm not the best at it, and I'm still going to need practice at it, but helps out with your edits a lot. Another thing that you should practice is like these little towers right here. And now switching this edit button, or to how I have it right now, is going to help a lot with your these little towers, because when you're actually going down for your editing, you're going to have to again take your finger off of your control stick, which means that if we're editing like this and then we go to the side, say like this, now when we have to go for our edit, it's going to take a lot of time to edit, and it just feels really weird. Of course, there's nothing you can really do to fix that problem with your control stick, but it helps, I guess, a little bit when you're doing it like this, because now you no longer have any delay. But again, you're going to have to take your finger off of the control stick to edit anyways, no matter what you do. So I guess these are just things to practice. And with that, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. And I guess that's it. I'll see you all later. But for now, I guess, bye.